right, happy Memorial Day to you all. I hope you're taking some time today to, or maybe over this weekend, to appreciate and remember those that have fallen and given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country, the greatest country that has ever existed on planet Earth, the United States of America. So I hope you love this country. It's not perfect, but I hope you love this country and you love those that are serving and that have served. I was watching some World War II footage yesterday, and my heart goes out to those men and women that fought tyranny and really saved the planet from authoritarianism and tyranny. And so I appreciate all of you that serve, and of course the many millions that have died in service to our country and fighting for our freedom. So I want to start off with that. Trying some different lighting as well, so hopefully this will go well. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the problem of NASCAR designs becoming available on Pattos Place and potentially other places without the permission of the designer. So my understanding is that people are copying or downloading designs from various, chat rooms or online websites, social media, and providing them over to Pattos, and it's flat out wrong. And they're doing it obviously without the permission of the designer themselves, the creator. So if you're doing that, you need to stop. Okay, just flat out stop. And go back to the designer and say, hey, I apologize for taking your designs and sending them over to Pattos Place. That's the right thing to do. So why am I addressing this now? So recently I bought some of the 2022 Kyle Busch number 18 Thank You M&M's design from Pattos Place. I saw it available on as a decal set. Thought it was really cool. I don't think twice about this stuff. If stuff's available on Pattos Place, I assess if it's really what I think is a cool design, might be of interest to the collectors that I deal with on a regular basis, or of course, somebody asked me to make that for them as a custom request. So I bought some, and of course, Kyle Busch, Rowdy Busch, he's a hot seller. I'll be honest with you. Whether it's Monster Energy Schemes, NOS, anything Kyle Busch right now is like super hot. A lot of Kyle Busch fans out there. But at the end of the day, I posted the listing of the custom on eBay, and within a few hours, I got some messages saying that somebody's not good with this or has a problem with my auction. I got an email saying, hey, the one who made that design is not happy. Wow, okay. Rarely does that happen, but it has happened before. And so I wanted to address that now. The fallout of that was I said, hey, let's talk. Let's have a discussion here. And so I asked that the designer reach out to me, and that's what Brendan Lyons did. We messaged back and forth on eBay, back and forth a few times. And you get a common respect for somebody when you do that and you have that dialogue. So I very much appreciate that. And so at the end of the day, we had a really good chat, and I think we're on the same page now going forward. If I can get my words out, I recognized him as the designer. And I will do that on any designs that I have or any custom builds that I do that are of his. So before I get too much further into that, I wanted to kind of think of this particular problem from different perspectives. And so I reached out to Pattos. He and I have been dealing with each other for, I guess, like 13 years now. And I think we have a good understanding of one another. I sent him an email, and I asked him about this particular problem, about him having designs on his website that are without the consent or permission of the one who designed them. And so, if you know anything about Mr. Pato, obviously he's in Australia. He retired from his career job years ago. He started that HO Scale website, catering to that slot car community, that hobby. And, that's his true love. And he did that a long time ago. So we're talking probably at least, 15, 20 years ago. He sells slot bodies. He sells tires, motors, of course, decal sets. And, so enthusiasts can make the paint schemes of their favorite driver or of their dreams, whatever. And I think he does it in such a way that he's not really making any money on it. I'll be honest. His prices haven't changed in the last 15 years that I know. They've always been the same. And so, anyways, I reached out to him and asked him his perspective on it. I wanted to read what he replied to me with, because I told him I would be sharing this on my YouTube channel. So when I reached out to him, and I have it written down so I can read it here. I reached out to him regarding the design stealing matter, and this was his response. Verbatim, Doug, I source the designs from many places. Some people seem to think they own a design when they have copied someone else's. Of course they don't. I have a good mate who is a patent attorney, and everything I do is above board. It is just a small element that does this. I don't think I'll ever be able to be profitable in this business. I will die in debt with the amount I had to borrow to get the setup I have, and the running costs are high. I do this because I love what I do and feel proud to service the model car community. Period. So, those are his words. I'm sure there are people that reach out to him legitimately and maybe illegitimately and say, hey, you stole my design. So I really can't step into his shoes much more than that. I do know that his prices, I don't think he's really making any money on it. I think he's just covering the cost of him doing business. And so anyways, that's Pattos' perspective. Obviously, from his perspective, he also, the more designs that he has available, the more that he can do business, right? Or he can, fulfill his hobby and have financial, transactions. He can print the decals and mail them off. So that's his perspective. It is what it is. You may not like Pato. You may like him. I am very fond of the guy. I appreciate what he's doing. If he retired from his career job a while ago and started his website, he's probably, again, I don't know how old he is, but he's probably in his mid to late 60s, if not into his 70s. And, I don't believe that he's going on to these social media places and downloading designs himself. I think people are getting them and sending them to him. He isn't asking any questions, and he's making them available in the format that he gets them. So from the designer's perspective, the designer acquires the software. The designer acquires the various NASCAR body style templates to build a design that fits that particular body style. They use their graphic design capabilities and intuition and talent. And of course, they spend much time in front of a computer screen building those designs. I love you guys that do the designs. I just think your work is just incredible. I don't have that ability. I like to work with my hands and doing things. Not so much of a creative genius whatsoever. And so once you guys build those designs, take that time, you're then posting them online, like I said, in a social media area or in some kind of chat room, some type of message board, and you post them. Hey, look at my creation, and what do you think? You get some feedback from people, good or bad, and then you also have the aspect that you're showing off your work. You're proud of your work, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I kind of do that from time to time with my videos and my eBay auctions. I'm proud of the work, the time that I spent, and I'm proud of the little creation that I made. And so it's exciting to put that up there and to share that information. So one also thing about designers, from your perspective, is, again, this is my communication with designers over the years, is you want to be recognized. You want to be acknowledged for the work that you've done. You want that credit, and rightfully so. And when somebody pulls that down and gives it to somebody else, or worse, says, I made it, yeah, I mean, it's a slap in the face. And so you don't want your designs passed around or taken or shared without your permission. And that is completely correct. That's a proper perspective to have. And you should require that. So I also want to say that I don't find designers like wanting to be paid. When Brandon reached out to me and we chatted, I was kind of thinking, I wonder if he's going to want like a percentage of the sale of this diecast. And he didn't. He didn't ask for that. At the end of the day, he wanted to be recognized, acknowledged that he was the creator of that design. And I think that was awesome. And so I don't find the designers being restrictive in that way. I think generally they would be okay with their designs being shared so long as it's done with their permission. And again, I'm doing this video on YouTube. You guys can comment below, and you can throw your perspectives in there. Really covet that, and I think that would help this whole conversation, especially if you disagree with me. I'd love to know. So the other perspectives we have in this thing is the collector themselves. I kind of was a collector. I still kind of collect a little bit, not too much. I'm still doing Mac Henseth stuff at the end of the day, but I definitely want as many designs available so that custom builders can make those die casts so that I can put them in my collection. I mean, there are so many that are available these days from Lionel, paint schemes that is, and I can have a tremendous collection. But when you start adding in custom paint schemes that are not available from Lionel, that just takes it up a notch. Takes your collection to another level. And it's just an awesome thing when you add in a high quality custom to your collection. That, I mean, it was hand built. There is no other one that is just like it. And so that is just so rewarding. It's so pleasing when we do that. But yeah, so collectors also understand that, again, from my experience dealing with people for 13 years, they're willing to pay for that custom die cast. And if it has to get designed first, they understand that there was probably going to be an additional cost, a design cost, and then the cost of the actual die cast itself. They're okay with that. They understand that. Again, these are adult collectors. They're usually people my age or older or whatever. And they understand that you don't get high quality stuff for free or at a discount. Yeah, the collector wants as many designs as available. So they're going to want the designers to kind of release those designs and make them available. And then the final perspective is as myself, as the custom builder, right? So I've got people that ask me to build customs for them. And again, just like the collector, the more designs available, the better. So again, I want designs available, whether it's on Pattos Place or if Danny Radke and Radke Racing has them and can print them, high quality decal sets at a reasonable price. That's icing on the cake. So that's, again, why I love Pattos Place so much, because high quality decals, a huge selection, and of course it's at a very reasonable price, especially when you look at the exchange rate between the American dollar and the Australian dollar. Anyways, that's kind of where the custom builder's at. The more designs available, the more access they have to things, then they can make those customs for either themselves, of course, or for sale for collectors to add to their collection. So in closing, I just want to, I think I've got like 4 points. Do not copy or download people's designs without their permission. It's flat out wrong. It's flat out stealing. You're breaking the 8th commandment in that you're deceiving people by taking them and playing them off as your own. So don't deceive. Don't lie about that. And that's one commandment. The other one obviously is thou shalt not steal, right? So that's the 8th and 9th commandment there. So it's kind of combined there. You've got some that steal, and then you've got some that play them off as their own, deceiving others. But don't do that. It's stealing, and it's flat out wrong, and you need to stop. If there's any message that I get across in this video, it's that. Number 2, if you are so inclined to, you see a design and you say, ooh, I'll make this available over to Pattos, ask for permission. It's okay to communicate with people in a respectful way and just say, hey, I think your design is top notch. So I would like to make it available to Pattos so that, I can either make the design, buy the decals and make the design myself, or whatever. So get that permission to share. If they decline, then you respectfully honor that and you don't share that design. Of course, if you're so inclined to that, maybe you could learn yourself how to make designs and get your software, get your templates, and build them yourself and not take something that belongs to somebody else. Okay, so a word to designers. You guys are free to do what you want with your designs, but know that if you share them online, there are nefarious people that may take your design, either claim it for themselves or share it with Pattos or whomever. Just know that. You run that risk of having your stuff taken. So maybe, I don't know what are some of the ways, right? You could post it as an image, not as actual, in the format that Pattos receives. You could watermark it, whatever. There's other ways that you could probably do that. I understand, but just be careful. And I don't want to say you need to expect somebody to take your design, but you need to be prepared for that. And as much as you may tell people not to do it, they may do that. So we don't live in a perfect world. So just be aware of that possibility. I will say this in closing. As a custom builder, if I make a custom and either you or somebody else says, hey, you need to give credit to this designer because they're the one who did the design. Okay, let me know. I will try to validate that that person is the designer, because I've had people reach out to me before and say, hey, that's my product, and it wasn't. But I understand that will probably happen. And so reach out to me. I think I'm an approachable person. You can email me, post a comment on a video, whatever. Hit me up on my eBay channel or eBay page and one of my auctions, and just shoot me a message. And we can have that discussion. I'll validate if you're the designer or not. And if you're the designer, then I will give you credit for that design. I will acknowledge that. So just like we did with Brandon Lyons and his designs. So that's what I'll agree to do. I'm not going to stop buying decals from Patto. I'm going to buy whatever I want off of his website. If you have a problem with Patto and you reach out to him and he doesn't take it down, now that's not me, but as anybody is free to buy anything from Patto's website, that's what I'm going to do. So I can't solve that problem for you. But I will, once I validate who designed it, I will give credit where credit is due. So that's my promise to you. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate you liking and subscribing. I'm sure that every one of you falls into one of those 4 categories or 3 categories and has a perspective. I encourage you to post and comment below and add to kind of what I've talked about, maybe something that I didn't address that is also a problem or related to this that I didn't talk to. But hope this helps. And again, please respect other people's work and do not take their designs and share them with anybody without their permission. So, all right, God bless. Take care.